You should be good.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming to the one member that came to the insurance presentation. Talking to him. He lets us go to the movies, so we got $4 or $5 gift cards to the movie theater.
All right.
So it's $20.
Thank you.
Take your significant other to the movies. So we're gonna get started. My name is Juan Diaz. I work for Country Financial. We're an insurance and financial company here in town, located off of Professional Circle, kind of by Milani and Double R area. So we're gonna talk about what it takes to be a business owner, what are the liabilities and what you expect. Even though it's a very small business ownership that you're gonna have with being a photographer, but nonetheless you are working for yourself, so therefore you are a business owner. So we're gonna go through this power slide really quick. Isn't too much that we're gonna cover that needs to be covered here, so we can just power through it really quick. So protect your business. So how do you protect your business? So disclosures, you got it. You want to read them, you can read them. If not, move on. Some facts about being a small business owner. The one I like is the first one. Small business owners employ almost 50% of the U.S. There's 42% of the total payroll that goes on through the U.S. is through small business. 52% are home-based. So that again, as photographers, people that sell stuff online, anybody that doesn't have a retail front space, that is a home-based business. So one of the risks, being a business owner, we're going to go through all these three really quick. Death, disability, and retirement. You probably have to say, how does that, what does that matter? We'll get to it. Succession plan, it doesn't really affect you as a photographer because you don't have employees. You're not a big small business owner, so you're not going to have 10, 15, 20 employees. So succession plan, it doesn't really benefit you at all. Again, this is if you were to pass away and you had 15, 20 employees, who's going to take over the business, stuff like that. So that again does not apply. Death of the owner. Again, some odds and facts. Male versus female, and the age that the mortality rate is at right now. So the type of businesses, we have a sole proprietor, which is if you're working off of your social, you are a sole proprietor. Now, if you go to a CPA, bookkeeper, or something like that, and you do an LLC, corporation, S corp, anything like that, and then you're working off of EIN number, which is usually an 88-something or 98- kind of number. And the last one is the LLC. This is just to protect yourself, so that in case the business goes out of business or something happens, they only go after the business side and don't go after your personal assets. So I do recommend, if you're going to do anything, try to do an LLC. That's about $400 a year. And you can make some separation between your personal stuff and your business assets. So what happens when the business owner passes away? Well, if there's credit cards, if there's any kind of debt, those people want to get paid upon the business owner's death. Employees are nervous. Yeah, you're not going to have any employees as a photographer. So there's no need for that. The fourth one is the one that probably hits the most, is spousal survival. So if you're bringing in a significant amount of money being a photographer, it needs to be replaced so that your family can continue living the way they're living. These are some of the things that owners think. I can borrow enough to buy other shares of the business. I will be able to hire a replacement and continue the business alone. This is if you have an employee that does everything for you and they're a very functional member of your team. You can put life insurance on them so that if they were to pass away, you can continue hiring process and get somebody else up to speed to where they were at before that person passed away, so that we don't lose any revenue. This is if you have a partnership. A lot of photographers don't have partnerships, so it doesn't really apply. Again, partnerships. This is valuation. Starting off, it's pretty hard to put a valuation on your business. So it's something that once you get going and everything, I would recommend to do. That's more again on the partnership. This is the one I was telling you about. If you have an employee that is beneficial to your company, and then you want to put life insurance on them. Disability, this is probably the one that's going to be the most significant for a photographer, because disability. So if you get injured during the job, you're out shooting, you still going some rocks, and then you're out for 6-9 months, even a year. You need income coming in. So through disability, you can have that income coming in if you get a disability plan. So if you do fall off the cliff or get injured, through some rocks and stuff like that, you can have some income coming in. So that's what all this is. And then there's more facts. A male age 30 is 4 times more likely to have a long-term disability. So I don't know if you can see that on Facebook Live, though. No. Is anybody watching? Okay. If you want the slides and the facts, just comment on there and put your email address, and I will send you the slide. So this is again the most likely age of disability to start. About 45 years or older is 75% after 2 years of disability starting. And then just a little question: how long do you live on your savings right now before you're exhausted? Those savings from your fall, your disability that you incurred. Again, this is just what you can do with the paycheck of the disability. You can pay your bills. You can do whatever you want with it. Just take it as your regular income would be. This is just some overhead insurance. You got a question?
What % of your income would the disability policy cover? 70%?
Depends on the plan that how you build the plan.
Okay.
So it is very customizable. So it just depends on how you build it.
Right.
So this is kind of, I guess, the disability will pay for 1 to 2 years. This is what it says here. And it'll cover salaries, taxes, benefits, rent, mortgage, utilities, stuff like that. And then it not only covers you when you're at work or shooting, it covers you if you're on ATV, you're boating, jet skiing, snowboarding. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you become disabled, this disability will kick in.
So that's a short-term policy versus like a catastrophic long-term?
Yeah, so this was a long-term. So what I suggest is if you want a short-term, go to Aflac and get their Aflac plans. It's a lot cheaper than the long-term.
Do you know how long their plan is? Do they have like a 1 year?
Usually it's about 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, so most Aflac plans will carry you from day 1 all the way to 6 months. If you have both, you'll be covered, obviously, from day 1, which is what I recommend. The Aflac plan is a lot cheaper. You can put it for the first 6 months. Once you start this long-term disability and you can put it into kick in at 6 months, it's a lot cheaper than if you put it to kick in at 3 months.
Yeah, coming from California, they have a short-term disability policy. It's like 2% of your taxes. So this is new to me from California.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Again, in your piloting, your hang gliding, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you become disabled, this thing will kick in after the waiting period that you've set. Spray coming in. Okay. I'll just keep going. So medical events of Alzheimer's, stroke, brain injury, Parkinson's, MS, arthritis, diabetes. All these things can happen at any age. So why not get covered now? When you're young and healthy, than when it's too late or it's too expensive. The retirement of the business owner. So upon retirement, again, people want to get paid because you're not going to be working anymore, so they're going to be wondering, all the debt that you've incurred during the time of business. Those people want to get paid for the money that they loan you. So there's two ways where business retirement takes place. You either retire and you sell off and you sell the business and that's it. Everybody goes their way. The second one is you give it to your kid or to somebody to take over and then they keep going. Again, with photography, it's a little hard. Unless you show your kid or your wife or somebody else how to shoot and your purpose of shooting. Can you afford to retire? It all depends if you saved up during your working years. We do offer retirement plans at Country Financial. So like I said, we're a very full service, one-stop shop. We have traditional IRA, Roth IRA, all kinds of savings plans available in our country. This is just a little more detail about the IRAs and how to put money and how to withdraw it. And there's events that you can take money out and penalized. If you want more in depth on that, and then it has to be on more than one-on-one basis because of the laws and everything. I can't be too broad with it.
Yeah, and my teacher's there too. So yeah.
As you it says why choose country. So we've been around since 1925. We are A+ rated on the AM Best. Thus, a third-party company that rates insurance companies based on overall satisfaction. That's payment of claims, satisfaction of claims.
bond rating?
Huh?
Bond rating?
Bond rating. So all this stuff, so we're rated A+ for the last 75 or so years. And then we added life in the 1940s-ish, I think. We added financial products in the 1970s. So we started in Illinois, ensuring the farming community, because there's a underserved community. So pretty much, I think any insurance company started off insurance farmers, the farming community. And our commitment to you is we're a local company, or a local company with local agents. I live here. I live by Costco and Sparks. So everybody that you work with, you see from country, are here in the community. Okay. You have any questions?
Yeah. When you're out shooting, I don't know if we talked about that part. When you're out shooting, if somebody gets hurt while you're taking their pictures, how does that get covered?
Okay, so we'll get into that right now. Thank you. We are going to get into this package. So the liability coverage. We cover $1 million per occurrence. So if you're shooting you tell your client, you know, step over here, and they step on something, you roll their ankle, they fall, you know, whatever, they get injured. We will cover their injuries up to $1 million. Or any lawsuit that occurs from that incident. So we'll cover their injuries, we'll cover if they come back and try to sue you for the injuries, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Pain and suffering, that's what they call it. We'll cover that up to $1 million for one occurrence, up to $2 million for the year. So if you have multiple occurrences and they all add up to $2 million, we'll cover everything. But one single item cannot do $1 million. There's no deductible on liability. So, you know, if we pay out $1 million, we'll pay out $1 million. There's no deductible to you. Another example of that is while I'm here. You bring somebody here, they going up and down the stairs, they trip and fall, they try to sue Ash, try to sue you, try to sue everybody, you know, they can. So this will make in and cover you for that incident. Also, maybe you're here at Hatch and you trip and one of these TVs falls or something happens to the equipment and Jeremy is nice, but he's not going to give it away for free. So he's going to want payment for that equipment that you damaged. This will take in and cover that as well. So again, that's no deductible. Pays out what it pays out. It does hurt your insurance. If you do pay out, obviously it's a loss. So your rate will increase the following year once we renew the policy. And depending on the size of the claim, we might not renew it. And then here's some optional coverages. Accounts receivable, it's one of the bigger ones. You know, if you do a shoot for a wedding shoot or something like that, and they say, oh, I'm going to pay you after the wedding, and for some reason you agree that you'll get payment after the wedding, and they never pay you, we'll pay that wedding off for you. This one is subject to the deductible, but it's $500, $1,000, whatever your deductible is. That's what accounts receivable is. The business income. So let's say you're out shooting on a Friday, you have a wedding the next day, and your equipment gets stolen, or something happens to your equipment, you know, whether it burns down, gets stolen. That's pretty much the only ones that are covered with the equipment. And you can't shoot the next day, we'll pay the money that you would have made from that shooting the next day. On a net basis, we're not doing a gross basis, we'll pay off of a net. So if you charge $5,000 and your take home is $1,000, we'll give you the $1,000. Any questions?
How long does it normally take to get the money?
It's pretty quick. It depends how fast you can produce receipts and everything of proof of what you would have made. So I suggest that you keep really well records of everything you do and what you make, so that way it's a lot easier if that ever comes up. And if you do have, you know, employees, and because the equipment was stolen or burned down on a fire, we'll also pay that employee for the money they would have made the following day or however many weddings or shoots you missed.
What is that website? Business income on the website?
That is if your website goes down and people order from your website and you can't make money off of the website, we'll pay for that loss of income as well. So, you know, if people are ordering their digitals or they're ordering canvases or whatever it is and they're ordering through your website goes down, we'll cover that loss for you. Let's see. So we can cover theft, fire. That's pretty much where you're going to be the most likely claims on equipment. We don't cover breakage of equipment. So if you're shooting, your lens falls off and it breaks, we don't cover that. I don't think many companies do cover that. But I don't know if they do or not. So that is something that I would suggest getting from the manufacturer at an extra, is it $25, $50 or whatever it is.
They don't do that.
Huh?
They usually only offer 2 years
Okay.
of breakage coverage.
Yeah. I don't know how often you guys change your equipment.
Lenses not very
Not very often, okay. Yeah, so that's the only thing that's not covered is the lens. Maybe your homeowner's insurance will cover under personal items, something that you will have to ask your agent and see if their policy covers any breakage of photographic equipment. Don't tell them that that's your business, you say that's my lens, personal lens or whatever. I didn't say that. Let's see. Most of this stuff doesn't really apply to you guys because you guys are not the owners of the building itself. It's just this is a built-in, one-fits-all kind of plan. But anyways, this is the gold package. On this one I had, I think, 25,000 of equipment coverage. Anyways, I got 25,000 of equipment coverage.
Would that be a premium in addition to the liability? Or is that?
Yeah,
packaged
so
in?
that's an added coverage.
Okay.
Yeah, so the liability is $1 million, $2 million, and then the equipment is 25,000. Again, that's your camera, your lens, your bag, your lighting fixtures, whatever the hell else you guys have. So with that, this one is $320 a year. It's not bad. The other package that I have, which is the same coverages, the same thing, this one's $460. The only difference between this one and the other one is that if you shoot a wedding, this is only weddings. Shoot a wedding, you lose your images on the computer, we will have a forensic analyst come in and fix your computer and try to recover those images. They're on a retainer for the company, so that's why.
Does that cover memory cards too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you're uploading that thing to your computer and you lose all the images from the wedding, we will bring in a specialist and recover all that for you.
That's kind of a big one. I do see Facebook posts occasionally.
Yeah.
I just shot a wedding and my memory card's corrupted.
Yeah, and when I was talking to Jeremy before putting this on, I brought this up and he really liked this. Like I said, it's a very unique thing that we do, and that's the only difference between this or this is but usually we start at 460 with this one. Also, this package covers your stuff, whether it's here, at home, in Hawaii, it doesn't matter. It's covered 100%. A lot of companies cover 100% of the location, and then they have a certain percentage they cover off of location.
Does the other policy cover the anywhere too? Or?
So this one is the only one that, out of the two policies, this is the one that covers that. So, if you have stuff here, and you take all of it, and then you go to Hawaii, we'll cover all of it, unlike other policies. And again, this one's $480 for the year.
Is that a one-shot payment, or is it like?
You can do whatever you want. You can do one-shot payment, you can do quarterly payments, you can do 2 payments, monthly payments, however your budget fits. It's not any cheaper to do one payment versus 12 payments.
Oh, you're charging surcharge?
Yeah, the only thing is the surcharge for monthly fees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why you say,
$2 a month.
yeah, $2 a month or whatever it is. Okay, so those are your payment options. You do annual payment, one pay, 2 pay, quarterly payment, or monthly payment. And there's the breakdown of the payments. So if you do a monthly payment. Your first payment is $80 and $40 for 10 payments after that. So $40 a month. You get protected for $1 million and everything, so that's really good for $1 million coverage. That's good enough. Cool. Any questions on Facebook? No? Okay. I had an example I was thinking of on the way here. I forgot what it was. But anyways, it'll come to me. Now, I know a lot of people have used PPA. So kind of comparing the PPA to what I have to offer. So PPA has two options for your equipment. They cover up to $15,000 for free of a day membership. If you want more coverage than $15,000, then we have to get it for Repair Plus. And they cover pretty much the same thing we do. Theft, fire, and stuff like that. They also do not cover the breakage. So I didn't see anywhere there. Make sure they don't. So they do have the Repair Plus. So if you were to get coverage for $20,000 on your equipment, that's $428 just for your equipment through PPA. Mine's $480 or $460 for the platinum package, or $320 for the gold. And then if you want to add liability to this plan, that's an extra $227 for PPA. So now we're at $650 for the year to PPA. That's $200 more than what I have to offer. And you deal with me here locally. You can call me. I'll answer. Usually keep my cell phone to clients because stuff happens and they get a hold of me. So that's one of the added benefits of going with me, or two, cheaper and I'm here locally. Obviously, they do have, the free $15,000 in coverage. And then if you do that plus a $230 that we offer, it's obviously a little cheaper. But if the equipment, everything together is more than $15,000, and then you want to get it covered. But if you go with the free plan that they offer, sensitive equipment is not covered, drones are not covered, this mysterious disappearance is not covered. You can cover that. And your employees cover up to $1,000 with a cheap plan. With us, we cover everything. So that's the difference between the free one. Obviously, you want theft coverage because that's the one that happens the most. Whether you move your car unlocked, your windows down, you're shooting, you have your bag over here, and somebody wants by and start your bag, stuff like that. So that is. No questions? Any questions?
Yep. As far as getting started, I guess you get a list of the person's equipment, and then you have a list that you look at to see what it's valued at.
Yes, we get the policy started, just do the application, we submit it. You tell me, I got 15,000 or 20,000, whatever it is. And then we get that started, and then I tell you, go home, make an inventory of your equipment, the serial number, the model number, and all that. Yeah, it's always good to have inventory of both your stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't require that to get started. tell me what it is, and that's what I put on the computer, and off we go. Any questions, any incidents, or anything that's come up that you guys are wondering?
I don't think so, not right now. I'm sure something will pop up later. And just calling you is the best way, or you have a
Yeah,
email or something?
I'll give out my cell phone. It's 775. It's not on the card.
Oh, okay.
So you want to write it down. And
Well, I have to watch the video and see it.
Okay.
I don't have a camera.
So it's 775-830-5826. So if you guys have any questions, text probably the best way because you don't answer the phone. Text is the best way. So an example I wanted to give. Let's say you're shooting here and somebody comes in and they get injured or whatever and they want to sue you, they want to sue Hatch. We can name Hatch as an additional insurer. So what that means is by naming Hatch as an additional insurer, your client can only sue you, and our policy, your policy, will cover you plus Hatch in a lawsuit. So that way Hatch is not involved in any lawsuit, and that's why they make you have an insurance to be a member. Smart. So yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. That's why they require you to have it, so that way they're not involved in a lawsuit. And the liability covers you anywhere if you're shooting within the U.S. If you're going to go overseas, they need to have an overseas policy. I do believe we cover in Canada. Usually Canada is very safe, I guess. For me to go, because we do cover some car insurance in Canada, so when you drive into Canada, it's covered. Puerto Rico's covered, and the U.S. territory. Yeah, stuff like that. Those are covered places. That's it. Unless there's questions, comments.
I don't think so. I'll be doing something within the next 2 weeks for sure. If nothing else, because of coming in here.
Right.
My equipment is not that valuable yet. I plan to upgrade that along the way, but you never know when somebody will want to sue you or sue Hatch.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Yes, that's the most important one, because if you are shooting, on like Tahoe or Gillette Park, Gillette Creek, whatever it's called, people slip and fall in the eyes because you went out there with them.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to sue you. Even though they might not win, you will cover the lawyers, stuff like that, to defend you. So sometimes a lot cheaper to settle than it is to go through litigation and the whole process of defending. But we'll definitely have your back in the lawsuit.
Cool.
Yeah.
So thank you.
No problem. No Facebook questions. People wrote my number down, hopefully. Huh?
I don't know what they can hear yet.
How many of you can hear me? Just say hi, I don't care what you say, just say something. No, can't hear me?
I guess not.
Well, I did. What was your cell again?
830. Okay, close it. 830-5826.